I'm here with buy-to-let property investment clients Joe and Karen Gordon, who I was recommended to back in 2004 for financial advice. Then started talking to them about buy-to-let property in 2009. Now, Joe, can you tell me just a little bit about yourself?
I've been retired now for 2.5 years. Prior to that, I was working for social services for about 32 years. And before that, engineering or in the forces. I have 3 children, all grown up, and I have a dog.
Karen, a little bit about yourself?
I teach sugarcraft, have a couple of children, and a dog. And I'm married to Joe.
Okay. So before we started talking about buy-to-let property in 2009, was it something that you thought really that you could do?
Having my own business was always attractive for me to be my own boss. So the opportunity came along and I felt that I need to go with it and give it a try.
And what about yourself, Karen? Were you kind of up for the challenge, or was it something that took you a little while?
I always had a fantasy about renting out properties. Years ago, I used to say that's the way forward would be to rent out properties, but that's when I never had any money. So, you know, and I didn't really understand how to raise the money. So that was my stumbling block, really. And then when that was explained to me how I could raise the money and begin, you know, it became easier.
Okay. So how did it come about that you were able to raise the money? What happened? What was the process like?
The process was really straightforward. We just drew down on our property, the one that we owned, took out some equity to initially fund it. It became very, very straightforward. It just never occurred to me it was possible to do that.
So how many properties do you own now?
3.
4.
4, including my own home. Yes, sorry, yes.
Okay.
He was never good at sums.
And what did the Propertyrush service actually do for you?
Well, they raised the mortgage. They
Help with the legal
sourced the house, raised the next mortgage, found the tenants. In the first house, they refurbed it for us. They were very busy boys and girls.
So did you actually physically have to do anything yourself for the first property you purchased?
No, we just went on holiday.
No, that was the attractive business side of it, all the legal side.
How did you find the process in its entirety?
Very easy. I mean, for the first property, really, you barely knew it was going on. It just happened. Papers came through the door and you signed them, and that was the end of it. And it just happened. And eventually, you know, you knew tenants were moving in, and you started to receive a rental income.
At any time, though, did you feel as though you weren't in control of the process, or were you happy with how it was all handled?
The first time, I think it was a total learning curve. So it was really useful just to sit back and just watch it happening.
Okay. And the subsequent 2 properties that we found for you and helped you to purchase, what did you decide to do with those then?
Well, we decided to refurb them ourselves because that gave us the opportunity to make those financial decisions.
Okay.
And also to choose our own decor. Which, you know, and being a girl, I think it's nice to choose your own kitchen. And I've got 10 kitchens now to choose because my aim is to have 10 houses. I'm going to have a different kitchen in all of them.
Brilliant.
So it's also for me about getting familiar with the properties that you own.
Yes.
With the first one we owned it, I don't feel an attachment with that, but I do with the secondary properties because we actually renovated the homes ourselves. So I feel more familiar. So if I get any phone calls about problems, I'm able to sort of get a picture in my mind about the layout of the house.
So for you then, it's a different proposition to some clients in that you actually want a bit more of a personal handle on the property as such.
I think that's true.
In terms of the the money that you bought the first property with, did you have to find any more investment funds after that first property to buy the subsequent 2 properties?
No, that was all done for us, and it took a lot of the worry and work away from us, really.
Okay.
So it's very useful.
So how is that possible? Just explain a little bit about your understanding of what we did to...
Well, we remortgaged the first property, or the first rental property, and we drew out the equity and used that money to buy as a deposit and the refurbishment for the consecutive property.
But did that leave any equity and value in the property that you'd first purchased?
Yes. 25%.
It's a better position to be in when you've got property money left in the properties as you go on.
I mean, we have a fair understanding that properties go up as well as down, and the good thing is that the tenants are in here paying the outgoings of the properties month in, month out, and so we can ride the storm because it's not a short-term investment, it is a long-term investment. It's my pension fund.
So how do you feel generally about renting property out to people, providing homes?
I really enjoy it, and I get quite a buzz from actually knowing that the properties that we rent out are of a good standard. That not a house, they are a home. They're a family home where, young families can come and settle.
Just looking at the other side, I mean, have you had situations where tenants have changed, and how have you found that?
No.
Okay.
No, the first 2 houses that we have, the tenants, the original tenants that go in have stayed.
Yes.
So no, we haven't had changeover. We've had change of tenant circumstances, but not of tenants.
Has your lifestyle changed at all much since you started this? I mean, has your income improved? Have you had more holidays? That sort of thing.
Well, we certainly in the first year we had plenty more holidays, and then in reality now I'm kind of settling into teaching, and I have to be there during the school year. Financially, it has helped. It's taken the pressure off, because when your own bank account's skint, you can have a look in the business account and raid it. But we try not to. We do try to still live within our own means and our own purses. We try not to take out in order that we can carry on developing. We can't strip the business of all of its assets.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's important. My philosophy would be, and it is, because my feet are firmly on the ground, and the first 3 years of any business you've got, including the one we're in, that you've got to put the resources back into the business for the first 3 years. So I don't think although it's nice to have a holiday occasionally with the money that you're earning, it's important that you make sure that there's a resource available for the business in case it's needed. So there's a balance there, I think, to be made in that, and not to, because you're earning the money in the first 3 months, you can go out and spend it. I think it's important to think long term and to keep some money in a plot in case you need it.
That's really interesting, because I think there's a common kind of belief that people who do buy-to-let property just, they're earning a mint of money and out driving Ferraris and so on. So you see this very much as a long-term business project as such. Last question, really, and thank you very much for sharing what you have with us today.
Okay.
Would you recommend Propertyrush, the buy-to-let specialist, to anyone else, and Let's Rush that rents the property out for you?
Yes.
Yes, and have done.
Okay.
And also added to that if there's anybody who wanted to have any experience verbally, and I would be willing to meet them and give them my experience of that, which we've already done on one occasion.
You have actually, yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yes, because, and this is coming from me, I believe in the scheme, 100% now. I think it's a good scheme, and it's given me an added interest in my life. And how many people at my age can say they're doing what I'm doing? Perhaps a handful, I don't know. So it's given me an added interest in my life, and it's given me a spark and a motivation something that even at 67 that you can have. So I really believe in the scheme.
Brilliant.
I look forward to the future of it.
It's quite interesting as a retired person that you're able to do that, really.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
to start a new business like buying properties as a retiredee. I mean, it's.
Well, you keep me going, Karen.
Guys, I'd like to thank you very much
Okay.
for talking with us
Yes.
and sharing your experiences. That's great, and I look forward to delivering 7 more properties to you in the coming years.
Okay, yes.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.